A.J. Brown says it's a shit show. And you know what? He's not totally wrong. But when are the coaches going to fix it?
You know what I'm saying? Mental good, kids good, you know what I'm saying? Wife good, everything?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Where
have you been?
No, I'm just checking up. Like, you my dog. Like, I still got, you know what I'm saying? I got to check up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like family good, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else, no.
Man, everything gonna click, bro. Chat, chill, look. Everything gonna click, bro. Trust me.
Shit show.
You like the way King Ding back here and breaking news, mother hopping news. We're gonna start with some news happening right now for the Eagles. Something that actually matters, I guess. But the Eagles have activated cornerback Jacorian Bennett from the reserve and placed cornerback Jair Alexander on reserved retire list. So, see ya, Jair Alexander. It was a nice stint, a Frank Gore stint as an Eagle. And if he's got, mental issues and problems going on right now, I hope he gets, in all seriousness, the help that he needs. But we got a shit show going in Philly right now this week. It just does not end. It will not end. And I got to tell you, I'm starting to get a little tired of it. I'm starting to get a little tired of having to talk about what A.J. Brown said or didn't say every week. I do not enjoy this. I do not enjoy having to talk about it. I do not enjoy having to go over this every week. I know some people love it. It's content. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But it is what it is. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. And we're going to talk about this offense in a minute. But a couple things. First off, with Jair Alexander retiring, I think one of the things the Eagles should do, I think they should take a flyer on it. It can't hurt. It can't be any more of a risk than bringing in Jair Alexander. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed Asante Samuel Jr. to their practice squad. I think it would be fitting the Eagles to maybe sign him off of their practice squad onto their active roster, and let's see what this kid could do. Assuming that he's healthy and that he could pass physicals and the Eagles would feel okay about where he is with surgery. But why not take a flyer on Asante Samuel Jr.? I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm not saying he's the best thing in the world. But why not take a rip? Why not take a chance? It can't hurt. Can't be any more risky than Jair Alexander. And you're not giving a draft pick. So I would say, why not go ahead and do it? But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what the Eagles want to do. Now, we celebrated the win versus Green Bay. We enjoyed the win. We had time to process it. And now, this week right here, this is where we're going to find out what the Eagles are. This is where we're going to find out. Really, the next 3 games, you're going up against teams with pretty good offenses, meaning the Eagles' offense is going to have to be playing at a much higher level. And some people are looking at this game versus Detroit and saying, hey, this could be another San Francisco 49ers situation that we had a few years ago where they came in, beat the crap out of us, and then we fell apart. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the defense is too good for that. But if the Eagles beat the Detroit Lions this week, the chances that they get home field throughout the playoffs is very, very good. And for some people, that's not good enough. For some people, it's not enough. For some people, they look at 7-2 as a shit show. Okay? Now, A.J. Brown was, I guess, playing Madden. He was on Janky Rondo's stream. And you heard a little bit of it at the beginning, but this is what he said. A.J. Brown was asked, is everything good on Janky Rondo's stream tonight? And he said, no, where have you been? Family's good. Everything else? No, it's been a shit show. Then he laughs. Then he goes, you on some, how you been, blah, blah, blah. They also go on to talk about how if he's on your fantasy team, get rid of him. Things like that. So clearly, A.J. Brown is at it again, talking online about his frustrations with not getting the ball and all those things. And look, on one hand, I understand his frustration. I think he has a reason to be frustrated. My question is why does he play it the way he's playing it? Why is AJ Brown going out there, and why is AJ Brown talking about it on social media and tweets, on people's streams? And the only reason I believe that this is the case, I believe he's doing it because he's been ignored by the coaches. He has talked to the coaches. He has told them, hey, I want this or we need this. And they've basically told him to take a hike. That's the only thing I could think of. Because why, as a coach, would you give this guy 3 targets in a game? Now, you may not personally like A.J. Brown. You may be sick of him. And frankly, to be honest with you, I'm getting kind of sick of the crap too. All right? I like A.J. Brown. I'm defending him. But at some point, man, it just gets to be too much. And I'm getting kind of tired of it. But the question is why is A.J. Brown saying what he's saying? And to me, the only reason to go out and act out and make it public is because you're not being listened to and you're frustrated. So you're going to go and turn to whoever will listen to you. Kind of like a kid doing it. You know, if the parents tell them, you know, do this or do that, and they do the opposite or they lash out in some way, that's how I see it. Because the Eagles obviously don't say, look, A.J. Brown's one of the great receivers. We got to give him the ball more. We've got to make effort to get him the ball more. They don't do it. And they say they're going to do it. They say they try to do it, but they don't do it. Okay? And I got to tell you, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about, well, Jalen Hurts this, and Jalen Hurts that, and Jalen Hurts is limited. At this point, how long has Jalen Hurts been a starter? 4 or 5 years? He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. Okay? We know what Jalen Hurts can do and what Jalen Hurts can't do. The coaches know it. Okay? But they have chosen to be ultra conservative. I mean, ultra conservative to an extreme, okay? You had the first 4 games last year, they were 2-2. Jalen Hurts was turning over the ball a lot. The Eagles start running the ball. They have great success with it. They get this conservative type of play. But it worked because you had a run game that could run. Now, you're in a situation where your run game has struggled and you've even gone more conservative. If you look at the game versus Green Bay last week, that first drive was really good. I thought they were running the ball well. They were throwing. They were balanced. Then Jalen Hurts fumbles, and what happens? They go, oh, we can't have any turnovers, and they get ultra conservative to the point where you get 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. They run the ball to Shipley. They don't even try to get the first down. So what you're seeing, in my opinion, and what I'm saying is this. Jalen Hurts is who he is. We already know what his limitations are, what he could do throwing the ball, what he can't do throwing the ball. And we know what A.J. Brown could do. We know what Saquon Barkley can do. We know what these guys can do. But the Eagles are not going out and using those guys properly. That's why you're struggling. You have bona fide killers on this offense. And this offense, they need to be able to go out and kill. They need to be able to go out and pillage. They need to go out and destroy. And when you take that aggressiveness away from them, you're hurting what really is this offense and what they're made up of. You're not running the ball as well as you did last year. So to me, what I'm saying is I'm not saying you have to go out and throw 30 times or 40 times a game with Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen needs to throw about 20, 30 times a game. I still think you could run the ball. But I do think you have to open it up some with him. You do have to take the handcuffs on him. In my personal opinion, I think it's almost impossible to really judge Jalen Hurts as a passer when you've got so many limitations on him. And it starts by ignoring A.J. Brown, by not getting A.J. Brown the ball more, by not getting him involved. And they seem to be okay with it. I don't get it. I don't like it. And it's not going to work. This week, when you play the Detroit Lions, you're not going to get away with running this offense the way it is. You're just not going to. And I'm going to say this to be fair. When Jalen Hurts has to go out there and throw the ball, he does. Why is it that late in the third quarter there was like a 3rd and long, 3rd and like 12, something like that? He finds Devontae Smith on the sideline, throws a perfect throw to him, completes it. Now, the Eagles were forced in a situation where they had to throw, and they did it. That Rams game, when Jalen Hurts was forced to go out and have to throw, he went out and he did it. By all accounts, when Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball because of the situation and it calls for it, he usually does a pretty good job. Yet, for some reason, the problem is the coaches don't trust him. Or they're so worried about the turnover battle, and they've concluded that that's how you win most of your games, that they've gone to this ultra-conservative play calling that is hurting this team. I'm not saying they have to go like the opposite extreme, but you have to become more balanced. You have to move somewhat to the center. You have to let Jalen Hurts throw a little more. You have to get these other guys involved, because right now you're one-dimensional and you're easy to figure out, and you're making it easy on defenses. You got to be more aggressive. And I think that the play calling at this point is the problem. I think, look, you could say it's Patullo, he's calling the plays, but who's making the game plan? And I'll say this, sometimes the game plan early on looks great, and then defenses adjust, and they can't adjust to it. It takes the Eagles 3 quarters to adjust. Now, they still win games anyways, but at some point, you got to take the handcuffs off of your offense. You just do, okay? You have to stop running the same play every first down. Stop running the same place every time. Run outside, run to the right, run to the left, move it around, change things up a little bit. They've done that a little bit, and when they've had success, but they don't stick with it. As soon as there's a turnover, as soon as something happens, the Eagles go into this ultra-conservative mindset. And you can see it, like I said, when you get these 3rds and 12, 3rd and 13, and they run the ball. They just give up possession of the ball. I don't get it, okay? And then they get aggressive at times where you think that they shouldn't be. It feels like sometimes these coaches, Patullo and Sirianni, don't have a feel for what's going on in the game. And people are going to talk about the A.J. Brown thing. Then they're going to talk about Jalen Hurts not being a great quarterback and all that kind of stuff. However, we have seen when Jalen Hurts has been asked to throw the ball, he does fine. He goes out and he does a good job. When he's asked to, be ultra-conservative, then it frustrates other people on that team. So the Eagles have to find a balance. They have to strike a balance. And they got to do it this week versus Detroit, because Detroit will move the ball. Detroit could go up and down the field, and you have to keep up with them offensively. And it would not surprise me at all if Jalen Hurts comes out throwing and they have a big game passing this week. And it's going to be like, well, where did that come from? Where's the consistency? Well, the consistency is coming from the coaches and them not going out and doing the same thing. I mean, look at the Rams game. Second half of the game, the Eagles throw the ball, win the game. You got A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith all saying, we have killers on this team. We have to be more aggressive. We have to throw more. Then they come out in the Tampa Bay game. They score 24 points in the first half. They throw the ball. Hurts is like 15-17 in the first half. 9 for 9 against the blitz that nobody said he could beat. And then all of a sudden, you go into this ultra-conservative mindset in the second half, and you almost lose the game. The coaching staff has to trust its players more. It has to. It has to listen to its players in terms of what they want, what they like, and try to get these guys going. I am sick and tired of all this A.J. Brown talk every week about this or that. I'm sick of hearing it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't. But I can tell you right now, this Detroit game, it feels like we're going to find out. Is this another Super Bowl run, or is this the team that is getting ready to collapse again? We're going to find out, because this Detroit game and how they play them is going to tell us all we need to know. Remember, Detroit's up for this game. Detroit thinks that we stole their Super Bowl. You understand that? They think we stole their Super Bowl, just like the 49ers thought we stole their Super Bowl a few years ago, and just like the Saints thought in 2017 we stole their Super Bowl. We got to go out there and we got to prove something this week. And it's going to start with the coaches. These coaches have to let this offense breathe and go out there and do it. Now, I won't be having a morning stream today. I'm going to be going on Dan Silio's show later today. So in order for me to do that, I've got some things I got to take care of in the morning. But I have this video I'm putting out. I'll be on there later. That'll kind of be my live stream for the day. And then, of course, Thursday, we'll have a video in the morning. We'll have the football game at night on Thursday night. And then a live stream Friday morning. And then prediction preview video Friday night. So we got a lot going on in the next few days. With that, who knows what's going to happen next. I feel better. I felt like I ran it and got a lot of it out. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's how I vision. We're all just living in it. If 7-2 is a shit show, then what is 3-5-1? That's what I want to know, because we call 7-2 a shit show. Cowboys, forget about it. They're one big pile of elephant crap. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.